personal expenses, mas lalaki yung problema.
Taxes na tax-free or exempt? Ano ba yung taxable?
Yeah.
Welcome to Lagot o Lusot, where we dig deep into anonymous yet real tax, business, and finance confessions from Reddit. Decide, did they smoothly get away with it, or are they in big trouble? And uncover what went wrong, what went right, how can it be fixed, whether they're Lagot or Lusot, how serious or lucky they really are.
Magastos pero nakatipid ba sa tax? Marami kasi akong personal expenses na feeling ko pwede i-declare as business expense. Pambayad sa kuryente, office supplies, minsan foods. Legal ba to or may chance na ma-audit ako? I'm just a girl trying to save some tax money. So what went wrong? What went wrong here is that yung pag-declare as business expense yung personal expenses. As a taxpayer, we have to know ano ba yung business-related expenses, yung costs and expenses na gamit natin for our business. Yung necessary and ordinary expenses for our business. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin as tax deduction yung mga personal expenses natin.
Okay, so what went wrong? Mali po sa lahat ng aspect ng tanong niya. Kasi personal expenses, yun nga, gaya ng sinabi mo, dapat is yung expenses na i-declare nyo as deduction from your gross income, dapat po talaga related siya sa business. Hindi pwede yung mga expenses na na-incur nyo in your personal capacity. So, it must be dahil sa business nyo, related sa business nyo po. Otherwise, kung masasubject kayo sa audit, automatic disallowed po yan.
Sa question naman na related sa may chance ba ma-audit ako? Yes, there's a chance that you can be audited by the BIR.
Mas mahirap yon kasi lalo if the personal expenses sobrang laki yung over-declaration nyo, mas mataas yung surcharge na may impose kasi parang magiging fraudulent return na siya, yung may intent, may fraud na kumbaga. So what went right?
What went right?
Parang wala akong nakikita what went right dito. Siguro yung pag-confess niya lang. What went right?
Or at least nagtanong siya na ba kung talaga bang pwedeng i-declare as business expense.
So how can it be fixed? Yun, it's important to be aware of the tax laws kasi nga, ignorance of the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. So, dapat alam niya yung tax law, lalo at may business siya, at lalo natakot siyang ma-audit, mas lalong dapat alam niya kung ano yung mga dapat niyang gawin as an entrepreneur.
For income tax deductions, she can check the section 34 of the NIRC para malaman niya ano yung qualifications. So, anong pwede nating i-deduct as business expense? Hopefully, maintindihan ng taxpayers na wag lang mag-focus on saving tax money. But of course, we have to feel na we are making an equitable contribution to the government. Kasi in the end, sa atin din naman babalik ito as a benefit.
And there are legal ways to, maximize yung tax deductibility ng mga as long as related siya. Kung makita na sa hair salon lang ba, syempre hindi pwede yun. Or kung diba? Magdi-disallow yun. Kung lahat naman personal expenses, mas lalaki yung problema niya kesa yung mag-comply na lang siya ng tama. Kung marami naman siyang tanong, BIR is open naman. Lagi kaming may seminar.
Ayun, as way of fixing things moving forward, identify niya yung personal tsaka yung business expenses. So, what do you think? Lagot. Lagot. Nagde-declare kasi siya ng personal expense.
It's a way of, tax evasion na siya.
Yes.
Hindi na siya tax avoidance. Kasi mas okay yung tax avoidance kaysa tax evasion. And what she's doing is clearly tax evasion.
So, illegal siya.
Yeah.
VA friend acting like not paying taxes is a flex. The title says it all. I was in a coffee shop doing my taxes and fixing my budget when my friend saw me. She sat down and we started catching up until we ended up talking about taxes. I was ranting about how I had to pay a BIR violation that I didn't even know existed. Plus, my work taxes feel so heavy. Then, biglang she starts flexing na her sweldo is tax-free daw since her client is a foreigner. I told her that sounds kinda risky since you can't just tell BIR na hindi mo alam as an excuse for not filing your taxes properly. Pero sinabi niya lang na may strategy daw siya. For the past 4 years, all their assets, like their car and stuff, are under her husband's name. So, she won't get tax map. She even said, grabe ka magtrabaho, tapos ganyan pa kalaki tax mo. I told her that paying taxes is part of social responsibility. But she straight up said she doesn't care. I read in this subreddit that VAs are still required to file taxes. But honestly, ewan ko ba sa kanya? Ang Are we allowed to say that? Yes, I don't know if I'm just annoyed or maybe a little jealous. My siblings in Japan and the US pay huge taxes, but at least they can see where it goes. Meanwhile, here, tax is already so high, then parang lahat na lang may tax. What went wrong?
What went wrong? The fact that the friend is annoyed or jealous. Joke lang. But it's obvious naman that what went wrong is the fact that her VA friend is flexing that she does not pay taxes. So that's what's wrong, diba?
VAs are actually not exempted from paying taxes. Taxation is a rule, the general rule, and the exemption is the exception. But there's no specific provision under the law exempting VAs or virtual assistants. As long as you're a resident citizen, you should file your income tax return and report your income. She mentioned na meron daw siyang strategy that for the past 4 years yung assets daw, car and stuff, name dun sa husband. But it doesn't mean na hindi siya liable dun sa supposedly na binabayaran niya ng taxes. And yung tax mapping is like a tax verification drive, no? Possible na confused din siya sa tax audit and tax mapping. Makaiba kasi sila ng purpose. So, she can get tax map pag nadaanan siya ng tax mapper na merong jurisdiction on her
Pag
place.
business establishment, yeah.
Yes. Pwede pa rin siyang ma-penalize kung meron nakitang hindi compliant yung registration niya, hindi compliant yung mga specific records niya with the BIR or sa business. Pwede pa rin siya magkaroon ng violation. Actually, hiding your asset is not hindrance to being audited
Yeah.
by the BIR.
So, parang walang effect yung assets niya na
Yes.
pinangalan niya sa husband niya. Kasi it remains na yung income pa din niya is taxable.
Yes.
Whether or not yung mga cars na sinasabi niya is nakapangalan sa husband niya.
Actually, it's a bigger problem if it can be used as an evidence na she is evading taxes.
Like, clear yung intention niya
Yes.
para itago yung properties niya sa taxing authorities. What went right?
What went right? Of course, we have to praise yung poster, si OP, kasi siya daw, nagbabayad daw siya ng taxes niya. Yun nga lang, yung friend niya hindi niya nagbabayad ng taxes. Maganda yung meron siyang curiosity kung talaga bang yung VAs or virtual assistants ay exempt or not exempt sa tax.
So, how can it be fixed? Siguro is to inform her friend na it's really an obligation na, the law is clear kasi that citizen of the Philippines residing in the Philippines is taxable based on her income derived from sources within and without the Philippines. So, lahat ng income niya, the fact that she is, earning income from her foreign employer does not exempt her from paying her taxes. So, what that VA friend must do is to register, because again, the law is clear that every person that is subject to tax must register. Like in her case, if she is employed, then within 10 days from the date of employment. Kung business naman, on or before the commencement of the business operations.
Siyempre, education, no? Tax education. Medyo complex lang, no? Yung taxes. So, it's very hard to comprehend at one go lang, no? So, mahirap sa common taxpayers yung malaman ano yung ba yung isang file nila or ano ba yung taxes na dapat nilang bayaran. But the BIR is open in assisting our taxpayers what to file and when to file those specific taxes.
Is it Lagot or Lusot?
Lagot.
Lagot na lagot.
Kasi pineflex ka niya.
Oo, dapat hindi natin effects yung mga illegal na
May mga ganyan.
Yes. So dapat yun, educated din tayo ano ba yung taxes na tax-free or exempt, ano ba yung taxable.
Yeah.
So in the end, we know na dapat nating bayaran yung taxes na appropriate sa atin.
Pag Filipino resident citizen, lahat ng income derived from sources within and without taxable fee. Fake yung
Coming up
invoices na
next
ibigay
on Lagot
or binibigay
Lusot.
nila. The seller is obliged to preserve not just the
It's not
invoices
part
but
of
other
the
documents.
obligation of the seller in the first place.